Hi there, this is Harry and welcome back to Advanced English Lessons with Harry, where I try to help you to get a better understanding of the English language. In our Advanced English lesson today, we're looking at advanced expressions that we can use in daily use. Okay, so I have 10 of them in total and I'll go through them one by one. To take something for granted. Well, you can also take someone for granted. To take something for granted is to assume that it's going to happen, or to assume that it will always be there. So we often use it in the negative. We shouldn't take it for granted that. So what should we not take for granted? We shouldn't take it for granted that the government will always be there to help us when there are problems with fuel costs or other energy costs. We shouldn't take it for granted. The government might announce that people shouldn't take it for granted that the government are going to step in and pay the difference. So perhaps we have to cut back on our spending. So we shouldn't take it for granted. Sometimes we take people for granted. Our parents, we take them for granted because they're always there when we need them. And then when they're not, what do? Yeah, we're feeling a little bit sad or sorry. So taking something for granted means to assume that it's always going to be there. It's never going to change. And of course, we all know as we get a little bit older, the world does change and we should never take anything for granted. Next, having said that. This is an expression we use when we are talking about something and we want to give some information, usually contrasting. Yeah. Okay. So, for example, we could be talking to people and say, okay, guys, I think we need to get ready for a really difficult time over the next few months. Having said that, the sales in the year to date have been really good. I've been quite surprised. So we are warning people that the next few months might be difficult, but having said that, we're just going to give them a little bit of a boost by telling them that the sales in the year to date have actually been much more promising than we had originally expected. Okay, so when having said that, it's a way of introducing another point that might be in contrast to the point that we have already or we have just made. Okay, so you might say, well, guys, we're going to work a little bit longer and harder. Perhaps we might have to do some overtime. However, having said that, I would like to remind you that we will still honor all holidays, and anybody who's got some annual leave to take, of course, we won't interfere with that. We're not going to ask you to cancel the holidays, but when you are working, we may be in a situation that we have to work a little longer and a little harder. Okay, so having said that, to have something in mind. Well, when we have something in mind, it's a suggestion that we want to make. It's an idea that we have that we want to raise or introduce, or it's some information that we want to give some people. Okay, so you might be talking to your partner, your wife, your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, and there's some issue with the kids in the school and you're trying to discuss what you should do next, and your partner might turn to you and say, well, have you something in mind? Have you got something to suggest? And you say, well, actually, yes, I do. What I think we should do is go down and talk to the head teacher or talk to the class teacher and try and clear the air. Yes, to have something in mind. Now, it might be just a simple suggestion you're making for the weekend, yeah? Oh, I think we should go out on Saturday or Sunday. The weather forecast is really, really good. So why don't we go somewhere? Oh, that'd be a great idea. Do you have something in mind? So do you have somewhere that you would like to suggest, or a place we haven't been before, or perhaps a place we have been that we liked and we can go back there? So do you have something in mind? On the point of. Okay, so on the point of, it means you're just about, or you were just going to do something, to say something, to do something, to go somewhere, on the point of. Okay, so perhaps you are working late and you're looking at your watch and it's time to go home and you're beginning to clear your desk and you're just about to switch off your computer when you get a knock on the door and somebody sticks their head around the door and said, have you got 10 minutes. I just wanted to talk to you. Well, I was just on the point of wrapping up for the day and leaving. But if it's quick, yes, certainly come in and we'll have a talk. Okay, so I was just on the point of leaving, or I was just on the point of going home. Yeah. Or you're sitting down and your phone buzzes and you pick up the phone and it's your partner. And you say, I was just on the point of calling you. You got to me first. Yeah, look, I'll be there in 10 minutes. If you're waiting outside the office, I'll just pull up outside on the street and you can jump in and we can head home together. Yeah? Okay, so I was just on the point of calling you. Okay, so it's all about something you were just about to do or you're in the process of doing, and so you were just on the point of calling, you were just on the point of going, you were just on the point of sending. You might get an email on your laptop, and when you open it, it's from a customer looking for some report or something you had promised, and you send a quick reply. I was just on the point of sending it when I got your email. Please find attached the document or the information that you had requested. Okay, so on the point of. Keep an eye on. Well, we can keep an eye on somebody or something. Can you keep an eye on the soup in case it boils over? I just have to run to the shop and get some bread. To keep an eye on the soup. Don't let it boil over. Don't let it burn. Can you keep an eye on the kids? They're out in the garden there. They're okay, but just in case something happens, I'll be upstairs changing the bedclothes. Okay, so please keep an eye on somebody. The kids, please keep an eye on something. Keep an eye on the soup. We should keep an eye on the weather. It looks like it's going to get a little bit wet later on, so perhaps we might need to think of something indoors to plan for the weekend. So the weather's going to be bad. There's no point heading out for our usual weekend cycle. So we'll keep an eye on the weather forecast to see what is expected or what's the forecast to be. Okay, to keep an eye on. By no means. Well, we often use this expression, by no means certain that. It is by no means certain that the team is going to survive this year because, wow, they've had a really bad run in the last few weeks. And if they keep playing this way, well, I think they're going to be in a relegation fight by the end of the season. So it's by no means certain that they are safe. It's by no means certain that I'll get that promotion. Okay, the boss is going to support me and he's told me it's as good as mine, but we all know what can happen. People can change their minds, something can happen, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Yeah, so it's by no means certain that. It's by no means certain that we'll get through this winter without any problems because, inflation is increasing, the energy costs are high, so everybody's going to have a problem. So it's by no means certain that we're going to have a good or as enjoyable winter as perhaps we've had in the past. Turn out to be. Well, things can turn out to be. They can turn out to be a little different than we expected. Or things can turn out to be great. That meal has turned out to be wonderful. I mean, you haven't cooked it before and wow, it was really tasty and it looked and smelled and tasted like a professional. So really, really well done. It's great. It's turned out to be a really good idea, to get the family together once a month or get the family together at the weekends, to turn out to be. The weather has turned out to be great. Yeah, the forecast was for lots and lots of rain and for there to be wind. But wow, today is wonderful. We don't even need those heavy jackets we bought, but it's really nice. Yeah, so it's turned out to be better than I expected. Or if you're doing some renovation or redecorating in your home, and when you get everything done and all the paintings hanging again and your friends come around to see it, they say, whoa, wow, that really changes the room. It really looks great. So you can smile and say, yeah, it's turned out to be really good. I wasn't expecting it to be so good, but just a few little finishing touches and yeah, those colors really go well together. So turn out to be. Contrary to popular belief. Well, this is a really well used expression. So we can use it in many, many ways. Contrary to popular belief means going against what the popular people think or the popular thought of people. Yeah, so Contrary to popular belief, our president or prime minister is actually quite a hard-working individual. People are always moaning and groaning, but you know, the guy has done really great things since he came into power. I mean, we've introduced better quality buses, better quality public transport. The school system is working well. There's no more strikes. You know, so contrary to popular belief, he's turned out to be a much better president or prime minister than anybody had ever expected. Okay. Contrary to popular belief, the manager of the football team has really made a difference to this team. When he took over, the team were near the bottom of the division, but look at them now, they're mid-table and looking up rather than looking down. So contrary to popular belief, he's turned out to be quite a godsend, quite a influential and good people manager, yeah? Contrary to popular belief. Or we can say it in a slightly joking manner. You know, people think you can't cook. So, oh, Harry, useless. You know, don't let him near the kitchen. It's a disaster. But contrary to popular belief, I actually can cook pretty well when I have the time. And when people have tasted what I've cooked, they go, whoa, that's nice. That's a surprise. So yeah, contrary to popular belief, I can actually cook. To be taken aback. This is a little bit more formal. When we're taken aback, we are surprised, okay? When to be taken aback, we are surprised in a negative way by what has been said or something that has happened. I was really taken aback by the company announcement that they were going to cut over 1,000 jobs. I mean, that's 50%, half of the workforce. Wow. I mean, what are those people going to do? It's not a good time to be looking for a job. So to be taken aback is to be taken by surprise, but usually in a negative way. I was taken aback by their reaction. Everybody was so negative. Yeah, I was taken aback by the view of the city when I visited there. I thought it was going to be really modern and really up to scratch and at the same level as other cities that I'd visited. But wow, it was really dark, dull, depressing, poor. So I was really taken aback when I arrived there. I won't be going there again in a hurry. So to be taken aback means to be negatively surprised. And then finally, keep in touch. This is quite common and quite easy to use. Keep in touch is an expression we use every day. You know, please keep in touch, meaning please let me know how things are going. We should keep in touch. So, a little hint, but don't leave it so long the next time. Yeah, or I'll keep in touch with you and I'll let you know if there are any developments. So this is just different ways to tell people whether we will contact them, but don't wait for the message. I'll contact you when there's something to be said, or, please keep in touch. You really want somebody to keep contacting you, or I'll be in touch later. I'll keep in touch with you when things develop. So you're just letting them know that you will tell them, but it's not going to be immediate. Okay, so to keep in touch. Okay, so there are 10 well-used, well-known daily expressions, okay? And they're at that advanced level, so you can try and practice them, drop them into your conversations, see how you get on, make sure you understand them. So here they are. Take something for granted. Take something for granted. Having said that, have something in mind. Have something in mind. On the point of. To keep an eye on. By no means. Turn out to be. Contrary to popular belief. To be taken aback. And then finally, keep in touch. And as always, you know the drill. If there's something in particular that you want more information on, just come back to me and I'll give you some other examples. Okay, I really, really appreciate you watching this video and looking on in the lesson. And I look forward to joining you again soon when we have another lesson. It's Harry saying goodbye for now.